Good morning, everyone. Agenda Review Day, May 30th. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, just a reminder again that the June 3rd meeting is an evening meeting starting at 6. We start off with 2 proclamations and 5 people on the public agenda.
Bob, real quick, on the public agenda, that zoning case that those 2 want to talk to got pulled. I don't know if they know that or not.
Is it temporarily pulled or is it going to be permanently? Do you know?
I don't know that, but I know it got pulled.
We can tell. I'll make sure the clerk's office reaches out to them and lets them know that.
Okay.
Okay. And then we have one new council business item that will take some time, and that is the review of the new international property maintenance code and some possible amendments to that. We're trying to get feedback from all of you so we can move towards public discussion, at least get to the DABs, and then bring a formal code or ordinance, set of ordinances to you.
So the only vote on Tuesday is just to receive and file?
Correct. And again, we're looking, but again, you're not in workshop, so you do, I mean, I'm looking for direction on any specific changes or modifications you'd like to see. Page 3, not quite sure. I don't have it listed now. Are you to the point where you're ready to make appointments to the city manager selection advisory committee?
I'm ready.
I am ready, but like process-wise, how many appointments are we making? Because I think we have different views of how many people that should be or from what sectors. So I have 2 people. I have a neighborhood president and a business representative that we could appoint if we were doing 2, and especially following the categories we had talked about. But either way, I guess I'm ready.
How about if we send your names to Bob?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Do we send 1 or 2 names?
Send 1 to Bob. So there's 7 of us, 1 each for right now, and then we can see if there are any missing sectors or missing individuals that should be represented.
So we all will get 1 appointment to that, and it'll be a 7-member committee.
Maybe that's when city manager can let us know.
Sure. If you send me the name, if you could just, in parentheses, tell me what their background is, or what classification they're in. Are they neighborhood leader? Are they, business person, whatever? And then that would help you all identify if there are gaps in the committee. So you may want to go to 9 or 11, depending on.
And the police search, or the police chief search, had how many members?
I think we had 11, if I remember correctly. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this on the agenda, appointments to the committee, advisory committee. All right. I don't have anything on page 4 or page 5. Page 6, there are 3 airport items, all consent. The first one would approve a license agreement for the luggage carts at Eisenhower. The second item would approve a new lease agreement for an existing hangar at Jabara. And the last one would extend by 1 year the existing lease with the U.S. Postal Service at Eisenhower. We intend to negotiate a longer-term lease agreement with them, and that's why we're asking for the 1-year extension. That's all I have for the 3rd. If there aren't any questions, just a quick highlight on June 10th. We have several economic development projects that lead off the new business. The first would approve a 2% CID for the SoC mixed-use development at the corner of Lincoln and South Broadway. The second and third would approve 2 airport special facility revenue bonds. Number 4 would approve a multifamily residential revenue bond. On page 3, number 5 would approve an IRB issue for a manufacturing project. Number 6 would approve changes to the city's open records ordinance, primarily the fee schedule, to reflect changes that were made in the last legislative session. Number 7 would ratify an agreement for online cataloging services at the library. Number 8 would approve the annual arterial sidewalk program. Excuse me. Number 9 is also an annual program that extends sewer main extensions for future development. Number 10 would approve improvements to Rounds and Porter to implement the recommendations from the property and evidence audit that was done a few years ago.
So these are just the police department, the property and evidence for police?
Yes.
Nothing else?
It would modify a budget that you've already approved for the sprinkler or fire suppression system. It would make some elevator improvements, and then it would make improvements to the heating and cooling system to protect evidence. And I think there's some other mechanical issues and electrical issues, though I think that's generally what's included in the budget. Number 11 would approve a grant application for improvements to Broadway all the way from 37th Street North to Pawnee. And on non-consent housing, if we can have a drum roll here, this is actually approving the funding and development contract for the third phase of the MAC. So this would be for the supportive housing as well as for non-congregate housing. Kudos to Sally and her staff for being able to pull this off. We are not going to have tax credits for this project, but we still found a way to fund it. So, as long as I'm on that item, because I'm really...
I would put that, would that be able to get public comment?
Yes, it is. Yes, it can. One of the nice things about this is it's using $10 million in proceeds from the sale of the public housing.
The affordable housing
Yeah.
fund, yeah.
No, from the actual sale of the houses, yeah,
Right.
yes. So that's pretty substantial. It sure is, it sure was, and so now you've got additional units, plus all those other units are in, right now being rehabbed and will be back, on the tax rolls. On page 6, 3A would approve a contract for the assessment of 8 city-owned parking garages.
So this is only for finding out what really needs to be
What the improvements are that
improved.
are necessary, yes.
So not the actual budget for the actual improvements, just
Correct.
the assessment of these garages?
Right, and I don't have the item in front of me, but it's, if I recall, there's also some project budget that we're asking for that'll help us on this first step of clean and safe. So I think it includes some gates and additional equipment in a few of the garages, and that'll be in the council report. Well, nothing until page 9. I just want to highlight 16 would approve home funding for the construction of 2 homes by Habitat. And that's all I've got as preview, Mayor.
Is that the meeting the vice mayor will be running, or is that? No. You'll still be here?
Mayor will be here for the 10th.
Let's
You'll be
make
gone
sure
for the
that we save-
17th. I'll be gone for the 10th. You'll be gone the 17th.
Okay, save all the controversial stuff for the 17th.
We'll load it up big time.
No problem.
Yeah. Let's
We'll
see
get
how-
through it quickly.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, City Manager.
Thank
Any
you.
comments from council members? Well,
Riverfest
have
is
a
tonight.
great, exactly. Riverfest buttons. I see Councilmember J.V. Johnston or Vice Mayor, Councilmember Glasscock. Where are your buttons?
Mine's in my office.
Okay, All right, well, today's the start of Riverfest, and we're looking forward to being part of the parade alongside our Wichita area sister cities group from Talapantla, Mexico, and several of the museums here in town. So see you out there at 6:30 p.m.
Councilmember Glasscock volunteered to ride his bike back with them. There you go.
I'll see if I can commandeer the Cowtown coach and just drive the mules that far down there.
All right, have a great weekend.